Antoine! Antoine!
What? I'm in the middle of something.
Well, stop what you're doing. Look at this. Is this person serious? He can't be serious. He's a troll, right?
Is what person serious?
This one. Look.
Alright, I'll give it a look.
Hi everyone, Sandman here.
Oh, fucking hell. Not him again. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine. Oh, I can't believe Sarah doesn't know who Sandman is. If I have to suffer through this, so do all of you. Sarah happened to find a very interesting video that she showed me, so we're going to talk about it. Why not? Sandman just continues to prove he's a moron. And if you want to see how much of a moron Sandman is, take a look at my playlists. Search out the Sandman Chronicles. There's 3 videos, soon to be 4 after this, that in ascending order show you exactly how stupid he really is. So, what the fuck? Let's get this party started.
My topic request is self-care for MGTOW monks. So many of your videos seem to get into female nature and why one should actually choose to go MGTOW.
Yes. So many of his videos get into female nature, and the fact that he doesn't understand a single bit of it and just uses the overgeneralization of everything a woman does on the bad side of things is nothing like what feminists do to men on television, in hashtags and things like that. You know, feminism uses those kill all men hashtags, but Sandman really gets into the nature of women. You know, I don't think he actually understands women. He only perpetrates this to men who are very angry and hurt. So once again, for the 4th time, I'm going to state this before we get any farther. Never, under any circumstances, listen to Sandman.
I wish there was more material on what MGTOW should do to sustain themselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually in the absence of romantic love, sex, and companionship/partnership. I've brainstormed myself a bit and have actually come up with the ideas of meditation and/or prayer for the spiritual and emotional self-aware. Massage, which is easy to afford when you're not blowing money on dates. Moderate exercise and good diet for physical self-care. Social time with family and or platonic friends for the social aspect of emotional self-care. I personally also choose not to indulge in porn because of the addictive/depravity spiraling aspect of it, and instead prefer using my own imagination when doing my bedroom wrist exercises.
We haven't even gotten to the Sandman bit yet. This is still the topic from the anonymous donator, if he exists. And on top of that, the question is simple. You want to know how to take care of yourself as a MGTOW. Alright, here, I will save you all of the trouble that you need from the bullshit that Sandman is going to spew. You would take care of yourself just as if you weren't a MGTOW. You get up, you go to work, you go to the gym, you earn money, you pay your bills, you wash your balls, you trim your beard, you cut your hair, you wash your clothes, you take care of the chores, you do everything you're supposed to do like a normal human goddamn being. You just exclude women. It's not that hard to do. Next time, just donate to me, alright? I'll take it and give you a better answer than something that's 12 minutes long.
Now on to my response to Mr. Anonymous and how MGTOW monks can sustain themselves in the absence of a relationship and companionship.
MGTOW monks? What, you have classes now? Do you have warriors and bards and rogues? I know, maybe you have berserkers and barbarians. Not Beardbarian, of course. He's way too intelligent to have anything to do with you. Can you cross-class? I mean, does a MGTOW monk also cross-class with like a rogue? Or a fighter? What did you spend your feat points on? These are some very interesting questions.
So what reason in business do we have living on this planet and taking up space if we aren't going to get married and have kids? What's the purpose? My first suggestion is to find something that you're just as passionate as women about, or as humanly possible to it, and pursue that passion instead.
Yes, everyone should have a hobby. Shit, he's actually right about that.
For me, that's been travel as well as this channel. I've also focused on health with regards to trying to get myself out of the house and walk around at least half an hour a day, as well as taking the stress out of life as much as possible. I've also cleaned up my diet. As you get older, you age based on the damage that you do on your body, so I try to limit that damage. Think of all the stress that you get when you're actually in a relationship and how it actually gives you anxiety, and then when it's all gone, you now have the anxiety of not having that anxiety in the first place.
Think of all the stress in the relationship and the anxiety it causes, and then after you're done with that relationship, you have the anxiety of not having the anxiety. What?
As for the idea of nofap, I would suggest that you still clear out that piping from time to time. Because what could happen is if you cut yourself off cold turkey, your prostate might be overfilled and rupture something, and then you'll have black sperm from internal bleeding. Don't ask me how I know about that.
Oh no. I have questions. I think we all have questions. Black semen. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about people of color. If that's the case, I've had a black boyfriend, but we never got that far. So, I guess since you know about it, but you don't want to be asked, is it because you swallow, or you know what it's like because it's been inside you some other way? Or are you talking about dead blood mixed in semen? Because I looked up this after hearing his stupidity again. I can't believe I have to give another biology lesson while dealing with this goddamn moron. Listen, what does black semen mean? Black semen is usually called by Hematospermia. Black blood is usually old blood that's been in your body for a long time. Black semen may also be associated with spinal cord injuries, which has nothing to do with the prostate. Injuries in your spinal cord may result in dark brown or black colored semen, although these exact reasons are unknown. It may have something to do with the seminal vesicle malfunction. These glands produce some substances that make up semen. If you haven't already seen a doctor about your injury, you need to. They can assess whether it's causing certain symptoms, or if they're the result of another underlying issue, like heavy metals. One 2013 study found that high levels of heavy metals, such as lead, manganese, and nickel in the blood may cause dark-colored semen. This may result from exposure to contaminated food, water, or other environmental factors. See a doctor if you suspect exposure. So, I know what you're asking. What the fuck is hematospermia? Well, it's blood in semen. Old blood. Now, you could get it from many different ways. A prostate biopsy, sexually transmitted infections, prostatitis, which is semen is produced in the prostate gland. When this gland becomes infected, swollen, or inflamed, you may develop prostatitis. This condition may or may not be caused by a bacterial infection and can be acute or chronic. Urethritis. The urethra is the tube that carries the urine and semen out of the body. If this tube becomes infected, irradiated, or inflamed, you may develop urethritis. Orchitis, the inflammation of one or both testicles. Extremes in sexual activity, which causes blood vessels to erupt during ejaculation. Testicular, prostate, or urethral cancers can cause blood in the semen. And high blood pressure can also cause blood in the semen, as well as other bleeding disorders. Jesus Christ, Sandman. Here, let me give you a little bit more about the human body, especially the male body, which you're supposed to know about. Semen is only held in the testicles for about 24 to 48 hours. Not long enough to cause the prostate to rupture, and not a way to get black semen. You dumb motherfucker. I don't know why people still listen to you. I have asked this 4 times now. Get a goddamn biology book and learn about this stuff before you go spouting off to your followers. You're going to get someone hurt.
For men going their own way, it's an uphill battle to fill that purpose that relationships, family, and dating once filled. Getting married is much easier in some ways because you slide yourself right into a pre-existing identity. But when you become a MGTOW monk, there's no mold to follow. You make the rules and you structure your life the way that you want, and you have to discipline yourself. In a sense, you're both the master and slave of your own life at the same time.
So what you're saying is you're single. I'm sorry. You're a passive, wise, meditative monk. That doesn't need anything to do with the opposite sex. You just need yourself and your bros and your masturbation toys. Yeah, you're fucking single. You have to take care of your own shit.
A MGTOW monk is like a person that just bought a piece of IKEA furniture, opened up the package and realized that there's no instructions inside. His life becomes like a jigsaw puzzle at that point. He has to figure out how everything is put together on his own. It's not like you can simply call up another guy and ask him, how do you actually put your life together? Because the IKEA product that he has is very different, and he also doesn't have the instructions. It's so much harder to put your life together if you don't actually have an instructions manual.
Is that how you see relationships, Sandman? That everyone in a relationship has it all spelled out for them? I mean, men have it spelled out for them because a woman tells them exactly what they need to do, and they have to follow it verbatim. You're wrong, yet again, when you start saying things like that one man's directions from IKEA are different than some other man because they have the same product, but different directions? That's a bad analogy, because everyone has the same directions for life. You're saying they can't ask for help? Yes, you can, and perpetuating that is a horrible idea. Listen, to any of you men out there that are having issues, if you have a friend, talk to them. It is very important. Let them know what you're going through, because they may not know. Asking advice is not a bad thing. Talking about this is not a bad thing. So yes, MGTOW monks, I'm talking to you. Just because you don't have a woman in your life doesn't mean you're aimless and you need someone to tell you what to do. I've already given you the best advice possible. Making yourself happy is more important than anyone else making you happy. I am amazed at the amount of bad advice that this fucking robot spits out every fucking video. And that's saying something because I'm a goddamn cyber demon.
The same question about finding purpose without women and taking care of yourself once you've gone your own way comes up over and over again. It's sad to see that there are a lot of men out there that don't really have a purpose for living. Most men are just so tired of life that they want to go on a vacation, sleep, and eventually stop working for a while. I completely understand that. I remember when I had traditional jobs, I would get home so exhausted that I would simply veg out on the couch for the entire weekend, trying to recover from the work week spiritually and then have to do it all over again. The problem with spiritual self-care is that you need personal space and alone time to recharge your emotional as well as spiritual batteries. Plus, social media drains those batteries even further. I'd suggest getting away from that whenever you can. That will help your spirit and make your life so much simpler.
Jesus Christ, does this motherfucker talk a lot. And I thought Sparky was wordy. I had to cut out a giant chunk of this video because he's bragging about travel, which has nothing to do with the question he was asked. It's just padding his runtime. Yeah, let me give you the simplest and most eloquent response that he's trying to present. Get up off your ass and do something. If you're tired, maybe figure out what's going on. If you're in a dead-end job, get out of it. If you don't want to be on social media all weekend, turn off the phone. There are simple things that you need to take agency for. You're on your own now. Do it.
I unfortunately can't do that because of this channel. For me, the virtual world is even more real than the real world. It's like therapy for me because I can say and do more here than I would actually be able to get away with in that real world.
The reason you can't take this out to the virtual world is because if you started spouting some of your nonsense, people would laugh in your face. Remember, folks, this is the same idiot who thinks that vaginas have X-Men level mind-altering, behavior-altering powers, as well as the fact that the government has a hidden bunker that has learning AI that is eventually going to take over the world. Yes, you can't leave this because of your YouTube channel. Oof, Sandman, just oof.
With regards to self-care diets, I'd also suggest keto. I don't actually get canker sores anymore, my gum disease is gone, my burning reflux or allergic reaction in my throat is gone too. My complexion is completely cleared up. I also lost weight and the quality of my hair has also improved.
I mean, a steady diet of nothing but semen and smelling your own farts will have that effect on you.
I've been on this diet now for a year.
I was only joking. I didn't think that's what your diet actually was.
People tell me about how much better I look all the time.
I mean, women do say that semen is good for the complexion. At least you know that's true now.
With regards to emotional well-being, that's a tough one if you need female validation. Or if you need other people in your life like family, that's a tough one too. I found that if you're alone and a MGTOW monk and you wanted a family in the past but it's just too damn dangerous for you, then one of the best things you can do is stay away from family people.
I like how he starts with the female validation bit. That gets all the MGTOWs into their red pill rage going. And then he flips the script to make it about family. And I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about family. Best friends, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, mother, father, grandparents. Basically, Sandman is saying, if family is too hard, you should stay away from them. In essence, what Sandman is trying to do, for those MGTOW who have made it this far without automatically calling me a mangina, he is trying to isolate you. He's trying to get you to feel alone, so that the only person you can turn to is him. So you donate your money to him, so you think how he wants you to think. I'm not the only one who sees a problem with that, right?
Most of them don't actually want you around anyways because the wives are worried you'll teach their husbands about female nature.
I don't know a single parent that doesn't want their child around them. Don't listen to this moron.
Taking care of your emotions when you go monk and or get older is often tough as well. You need to have a friend or therapist that you can talk to because you know that once you get into your middle age, your parents are eventually going to die off, and your siblings are most likely going to get married and have their own children. So you have to focus on preventing yourself from becoming isolated from all people.
Except that's exactly what you want to do to them, Sandman. You want them isolated. You want them to be angry. You want them to listen to nothing but you. And now you're telling them that they also need a friend? You just told them that they didn't need anyone because family's too hard. Do you want to know what else this sounds like? It sounds like indoctrination. This is a cult for him. You give him your money, and he makes you feel better. Instead of going to get a hooker, where you'd actually get some decent relief, you're pissing your money away on some moron who doesn't even understand that semen is not stored in the prostate. This is someone who doesn't know anything he's talking about, and talks more out of his ass than half of the people on YouTube. I would rather sit through a lecture from Michael Rowlands and Riley Dennis than actually take any advice from Sandman. But those are my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to keep the fun going, there's a link down below to my Discord, where you can jump into the hideout and talk to me, the trio, and Sarah. Or, if you want to talk to the people behind the voices, you can jump into behind the scenes, and we can have a conversation there. If you'd like to support the channel, and I really hope you do, there are links down below to my Patreon, which has some amazing reward tiers that have been reworked just for you folks. There's also a link to my Streamlabs and PayPal for one-time donation. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I will post randomly. Or, if you really want to, you can follow me on Gab as well. All of the links for all of these things are down below. But, with that being said, this has been Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.